Hey everyone. Well, we are two members from OCPI. I'm Tiffany.
I'm Andrew.
Yeah, and today we are going to go over some of our professional ghost hunting gear. Now, I've had a lot of people that have asked us what kind of gear we use and how to use it, and basically, is it good at catching ghosts? Now, while a lot of our gear is super expensive, you can get a lot of this stuff for fairly cheap as well, depending on your budget. So, go ahead, Andrew.
Yeah, sure. I'll just go ahead and start off with first the audio recorder. This is just a basic audio recording device. This is what we pretty much use when we're need to record audio at certain places at certain times where we can't just have the camera be. So we just usually place it around areas where we're expecting some kind of energy or uncomfortable energy, dark energy. So this will help us capture EVP kind of energy to help get anything we haven't caught personally.
Yeah, it's actually great because a lot of times EVPs will save our investigations. We don't realize that we have voices that are all over them. So EVP has been 100% vital in any investigation. So always have a recorder with you. All right, so next we're gonna go with thermal cam. Thermal cam is amazing to have for nighttime. You can even use this during the day, but it's really, really recommended at night. It'll capture anything that we can't really see with our eyes. And it's great because it picks up heat or cold sensors. Yeah. So thermal cam is an absolute must. You can get these for fairly cheap. They're not overly expensive.
This over here is the K2, and this pretty much detects electrical energy, EMFs, reading out out here in locations. And this is pretty much just great when one of our equipment goes down, like the spirit box or just something goes bad. But this over here detects electrical energy and just spiritual energy.
Perfect, yeah. And it actually has a meter of light. So the lights will go up and it'll let us know if there's something else in front of us or near us that wants to communicate. All right, so next on our list is the infamous spirit box. And here I have a design by Gary Galka. He's super well known in the paranormal industry. He is an inventor, but he also lost a very close family member of his. And so he wanted to communicate with the other side. So he basically came up with his own version of a spirit box like Frank Sumption's for the original spirit box. So this one has a noise processor that kind of helps clear up some of the things, but this has been a big asset to our team to have this spirit box. I don't know how many times we've had clear voices come through communication that I don't hear. I hear back later in editing and I am just blown away every time. Are you stuck here or can you leave? You want me to leave? Stay, okay. Thank you.
A spirit box works as a one-way radio that spirits are able to manipulate the white noise to speak. We know that there's a lot of speculation of whether these boxes work, but over the years, it's impossible to deny the results.
So if you can afford it, these things are a couple $100, get you a spirit box. You will be so happy with that one.
And next we're gonna cover over here the REM pod.
Yeah.
Which pretty much just uses a lot of different forms of just communications and readings to help detect any kind of energy nearby. It uses heat energy, touch energy. If there's something nearby, it will just beep and have certain lights to indicate which direction it's coming from. We have different indicators down here. Mm-hmm. And it also uses a little bit of EMF as well, which is pretty much great when we're heading towards a certain area where we feel there's just gonna be a lot of energy, in front of a gravestone or just in front of a known haunted material such as a chair that swivels back and forth or just any other thing that could be useful.
All the lights are going.
He's like, don't touch my statue.
Holy shit.
He's like, I want that sandwich.
Can we?
I
don't want to be too close.
I mentioned the sandwich and the green light just went nuts.
So yeah,
Even like a haunted object, right? We can put it down, and it's great because the spirit just literally has to barely touch it or come around it, and it goes off, and it works really, really well.
yes.
All right, so next is another piece by Gary Galka. This is called a Mel meter, and this basically registers EMF, but it also does heat and cold temperature. So this is the upgraded model. This is like a little over $100. It's not too bad, but this has been great. AC loves this one. Okay, then we're gonna have our basic cat ball. And these are great because we can just literally put these there like that. And spirits like to play with them. They're fun. Who doesn't like lights? These things go off all the time.
They are really sensitive to movements. Just like a little tap or touch can just like indicate some kind of movement. There is like a slight issue with it possibly being interactive with some wind. So just be aware that, hey, it can be wind that interacts with the movement that makes the light bulb go off.
Or an unsteady
Surface.
Yeah, we've had them roll down, non-paranormal.
Yeah, maybe you're like in a creaky floor and all of a sudden you just kind of step and just like a slight little movement makes it light up. And this right here is an infrared camera. This is nothing fancy, it's just like a basic camera that does infrared night vision, which pretty much means it uses infrared light, invisible to the human eye, but visible within the camera to just see things that we can't in total complete darkness. The one built in here is okay and gets us like decent viewings. However, if you do want to get like objects that are like further away, we recommend an external power light such as this one over here. As mentioned before, this is not going to be visible to the human eye. However, this is going to help be visible to the camera and help extend the vision of what the camera can see.
So last on our list is the SLS camera. Now, I'm sure you've seen us use the ones on our phone. It's a very, very cheap app you can download. And what is SLS? So SLS is measuring kinetic energy. So when you think of like a video game, they target different points and it creates a body when they're creating those graphics for the video game. So an SLS actually is basically the same thing, and it picks up energy signatures that would technically be like a body. Sometimes it will read stuff that's not, and shadows and other things. So you really have to be smart about it and kind of discern which is paranormal and actually a person and which is just a piece of wood or a tree or shadow or whatever it's deciding to read at that point. But SLS is really, really easy to pick up right on your phone. You can just download the app. We use the Ghost Tube. It's been really great for us so far. It's been really reliable.
And just to disclose a little bit more about the SLS app, if you are using like a higher end phone, which is like kind of great to know about, there is infrared lights in front of like the iPhones. When you have it shoot out, it does actually shoot infrared lights out, and it kind of like detects like the distance from like objects, which kind of helps like detect kind of where people may be, where spirits may be, where it might help. However, there can be like issues, as mentioned before by Tiffany.
So anyways, thank you for joining us today on this gear episode with Andrew and I, and until next time.
Some exciting news for you is that we partnered up with Ghost Stop. They are your #1 paranormal ghost hunting gear store. And like you've seen in many of our episodes, you can get the infamous SB7 Pro Spirit Box or even the REM Pod. So be sure to follow the link below and click on that and get you some professional ghost hunting gear. And of course, happy ghost hunting.